Balance is an archetype that focuses on outmaneuvering your opponent, giving yourself tools to outplay every matchup, but not focusing on any matchups in particular. Many balance themes like to include Pokemon like Rillaboom, Incineroar, Electabuzz, Sneasler, Porygon 2, Ursaluna, and Dragonite. Unlike Psyspam teams, balance aims to give yourself tools in every matchup, while Psyspam is usually about having some super positive matchups and some super negative matchups. In order to build a good balance team, we need a central piece to support. Right now, our best options are Gholdengo, Kingambit, Ursaluna, Annihilape, or Volcarona. I just made a video about Kingambit, so let's start with that. Kingambit is going to be our central piece, so we're going to want to give it a setup move that allows it to sweep. Looking at Kingambit, it's kinda slow. We have Sucker Punch, so it's not the end of the world, but it makes a Trick Room option viable. I'd say we don't want Ursaluna or Porygon 2 with Kingambit, since we'd have 3 Pokemon that are weak to fighting. Along with this, we're also really reliant on having Trick Room up. So in this case, let's go with Redirection. Electabuzz is the common pick here, so we can use that. Kingambit Electabuzz is a little bit weak to ground, and the ground types in this format are the 2 Ursalunas and Garchomp. We can add both Dragonite and Sneasler to this team, along with Rillaboom to give us solid options into all ground types and Fake Out support. Sneasler also has the option between either Grassy Seed or Focus Sash, but I like Grassy Seed. We can go Grassy Seed coaching to help our physical attacker. If we want to go that route, you could make an argument for Assault Vest Kingambit, but let's stick with the setup one for now. So, we have Kingambit, Electabuzz, Sneasler, Dragonite, and Rillaboom. This team feels pretty solid, but we are a little bit weak to rain, since we don't have any great special attackers that can deal with Archaludon. If you don't care, you can just slap on Incineroar and call it a day. But if you do, you can add a special attacker. I'd recommend either Primarina or Volcarona. Volcarona doesn't die to an Electro Shot, so let's go with that. How do I think like a balanced player? Well, you have to have one phrase in your mind the whole time you play. Play optimally. When playing balance, you want to find the move that will make you the most progress in the game. Sometimes it might be better to take a knockout, while others, setting up, may be more optimal. Balance hinges on the idea of making trades. You want to positively trade with your opponent in order to slowly win the game. You also have to play somewhat patiently, as it's sometimes suboptimal to take a KO. Now that you know the fundamentals of balance, we can move on to how to play this team specifically. This team has 2 central modes: coaching Sneasler and set up Kingambit. You can pick and choose which mode you want to use depending on the matchup. If playing Rain, you probably want to go with the Kingambit mode, to allow yourself to set up and one-shot everything on the opposing side. However, if they have a Sneasler-based balance team, it might be better to go with the coaching mode. It all depends on the matchup. You can mix the modes if you want to, as long as it's best to what you're playing against. To summarize, balance is an archetype about outplaying your opponent and giving yourself the tools to win any matchup. Balance is the archetype that many players who are confident that they can win on skill alone use. If that sounds interesting to you, then maybe balance is your dream archetype. Thank you all for watching.